Hi everyone! So this is the January and February, since I kind of missed January, sorry, I know, products video, so things that were good, that were bad, that were ugly, that were... So, I don't really have an order for how I'm going to do things, so we'll just see how things go. I've got this little bin set aside with all of my products that I want to mention in it. So I guess we'll just start with this, the Jergen's Natural Glow. It's the Firming Daily Moisturizer, and it's the medium to tan skin tone one. This is a gradual tanner that you use for your body, and I really have been enjoying this. I've been slacking though, I haven't been putting it on as much as I would like to, just because I shower like right before school, and I don't really want to put it on and maybe have it risk it coming off on my clothes. It never has, but it's definitely gradual. I used it for I think 5 days and I didn't really see a difference at all, but I really just only need to even out my chest and my neck and that kind of area, because my face, my arms, and my legs are all sort of the same color, and the back of my neck is the same color too. So definitely we'll keep using this, but it doesn't smell bad at all, and it definitely is a great lotion because it's easy to apply. Picked this up too, the MAC Mineralized from the Mineralized line, the Volcanic Ash Exfoliator, which this was a limited edition thing. They keep bringing it out over and over again because it's just this limited edition thing that people crave, and I got it because they only had a couple left, and I've been wanting to try it since I heard about it 2 years ago. So it definitely is black, like it is a black scrub. I don't want to get any on my finger, but yeah, it's black. It is a sugar scrub. The first ingredient is sucrose, which means sugar. So as you exfoliate, the sugar granules sort of dissolve, and it becomes this sort of like really creamy type of cleanser. So it turns from an exfoliator to a cleanser, and I found that this honestly I think works a little bit better than the St. Ives Apricot Scrub, and I love the St. Ives one. It's definitely a lot less expensive and easy to get your hands on. But this worked really, really well. I've used it, what, 3-4 times now, and I really, really like it. So that's bad because it's limited edition. Vichy Aqualia Thermal, I think is how you would say it in a French manner. 24-hour hydrating fortifying lotion. It's got broad spectrum SPF 30 UVA UVB protection, and I did not see, it comes in a box, and so I don't remember actually seeing fragrance on the list anywhere here. It might be there and I might be misreading it, but I don't think there's fragrance, which is exciting because added fragrance is not necessarily a good thing. This hydrates my skin like nobody's business, and it keeps it smooth and really hydrated throughout the day. In the winter time, my skin definitely does dry out. As with Accutane, it's been a little bit on the drier side, but this has been wonderful. What a godsend. I think it's $29.95 I got mine at Walgreens. They recently brought Vichy to my local Walgreens. But it's definitely really, really nice. A very nice consistency, and it's great underneath makeup. It really smooths out the skin wonderfully. I can't speak highly enough about that. Let's see, I've been using this Dermalogica Total Eye Care SPF 15, but because it has the SPF in it, it seems that there's like reflective properties to it. I'm assuming that it's maybe titanium dioxide, I don't really know, but it really reflects the light, so I find that when I'm wearing my glasses, I like to put this on first because it really helps to brighten up the area, not just with, you know, makeup, but with the skincare underneath it. It's got that kind of reflective property, so you don't have as dark of shadows underneath your eyes, which is really nice. And it hydrates, I'd say, adequately, not overly hydrates it. But it's definitely one that I've been enjoying using. Will I buy the full size? Probably not. Alright, so let's talk lash serum. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I've been using the Rimmel Lash Accelerator Serum with Avec Grow Lash Complex. First of all, I hate the applicator. It's like this plastic spiral. It's like a plastic screw with this brush on the end of it, right? So it's really awkward to apply the serum with, because as you get to this certain angle, you like stab yourself in the eye, because this can also be used for brows, which we'll put a little bit through this top part here. I haven't really been using it on my brows all too much, I'll be honest with you. And I do notice that it does make my eyelashes kind of fall out a little bit more than normal, and it makes them kind of crispy, but I do think that it's been improving the length ever so slightly. I don't know if you can even tell with my mascara right now, which I guess this will lead into the other one. I am wearing Maybelline The Rocket Volume, which I've been really enjoying. A lot of people don't like it, but you just have to apply it in a certain way to get it to look voluminous and great. And then I'm using the YSL, what's this called? Mascara Singulier in the Deep Plum version on my lower lashes because I wanted them to look kind of spidery, so that's good. But I realized, like, when I tried out the Rocket Volume, I, like, really noticed that it was my lashes were so long and so thick and amazing, and I was like, it's this Rimmel lash serum that's been working. But then I realized, after I finished with this Skin Research Laboratories neuLASH Lash Enhancing Serum, a little sample that I have, that's when I started using this, and I think as I started using this, that's also when I tried that mascara. So I really think in the week's time that I use this, it made much more of a difference than, like, a couple weeks of this has been making. So I don't know how expensive this is, but if it's making that much of a difference in my lashes, I might go buy a full size to see how it works. I don't know. I really need to save money for college. Oh my god. But lashes are something that I have never had in my entire life, and it's the strangest feeling when you see that your eyelashes actually look really long and thick. It's amazing, an amazing feeling. But I will continue to use this one and see if it actually makes a difference, and if it keeps making my eyelashes fall out more and more, then I'm just going to stop using it. Alright, I finally give this a whirl, the Hourglass number 28 Primer Serum. Excellent. Oh my gosh, I would only use this during daytime though, because it is a primer serum, so I feel like it would make more sense to use it underneath makeup. You probably could use it at nighttime, but it definitely, like, really hydrates the skin, really smooths out the skin, really smooths out textural issues. I mean, temporarily. No makeup will permanently fill in those lines unless you get, you know, fillers and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely really nice. I don't know if I'd buy the full size since it's like, what, $68 something, which is bonkers. But I enjoyed the little sample, and I'm going to continue using it till I finish with it, for sure. I also bought this too at the CCO, where I bought the Volcanic Ash Exfoliator, the Pro Sculpting Cream in Coffee Walnut, which is a really nice grayish brown. This is what I was hoping that Ben Nye Cream Contour would be, but didn't end up being. So, but this is really nice. I'm just going to apply a little bit. I like to use this e.l.f. blush brush because it's synthetic and the shape is really perfect for contouring. But it applies really smoothly. It's not a greasy cream by any means. It actually feels a little bit on the drier side. Not like drying, like it's going to dry your skin out, but it doesn't have a lot of, like, it doesn't feel super emollient, like it's going to slip and slide around. So, don't know if you can tell one side versus the other. I like it because it's buildable too. It's hard to put on too much. And because it's a cream, it just blends so nicely into the skin that it doesn't even look like there's anything there, which is good. So, then I obviously blend a little bit onto my ear. But, can you see one side of my face? I have to do the other side now, otherwise it's just going to look weird. So there we go. We're contoured, sculpted adequately, I think. Does it look too heavy on one side versus the other? Could also be my lighting too. I don't know. This feels adequate. Okay. So yeah, like I said, you can tell the difference that it makes, right? You feel me on that one? Alright, so there's that. Let's see. Something that is basically a joke of a product because I think it's way too expensive for what it is. I mean, I'm sure it has SPF in it and it's got antioxidants and opaque packaging, so it's going to keep it stable. But it's just far too expensive for a silicone primer, essentially. Miracle Skin Transformer. This will not correct your blemishes. This will not completely change your skin tone. It will not give you any coverage whatsoever. But I do notice that this and the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, which I love, of course, is the only thing that really, truly will slightly fill in the little craters and little tiny ice pick scars that I have on my cheeks and on my, around my eye on my cheekbone. This is the only thing that I noticed that actually fills them in temporarily. Everything else just kind of glides right over it and doesn't make much of a difference, but this actually does. I've had this since last summer. I never really used it, never really thought much of it, but this on its own is what I've been doing a lot of because it just simply evens out the texture, doesn't really even out the blemishes or any discoloration, but that's really what it's been good for. So another thing that's a joke of a product, but I actually really am liking, is the Revlon Photoready BB cream. I think BB creams are a joke. Unless you get them from Asia, they're tinted moisturizers. That's all that they are, unless you buy them from Asia. Or there's some of them I think that are, sorry, I have to keep contouring. What is my life? This, yeah, I think it's basically a tinted moisturizer, but it has SPF 30, and it gives pretty good coverage, better than some tinted moisturizers that I have. So it's not a bad option if you want to give it a shot, and it's not overly expensive either, so there we go. I did apply my foundation, and I've been meaning to do this for forever and a day now, but the e.l.f. complexion brush, oh my god. If you have this brush and you've not used it with liquid foundation, try it. Oh my gosh, I did not even realize it could be as good as it is. And I think the reason I really wanted to try it is because when you look at like a basic foundation brush, they're similar in shape, right? They're like a paddle style brush. Except this one is a lot fluffier. So it's like taking a buffing brush, which I don't actually like using if you have any dry patches, like try not to buff. It gives you the effect of buffing with the control of a foundation brush because you can just do this, and then if you want to buff out a little bit you can, or you can pat it on, but I like to pat and then kind of wipe down and then kind of just make sure everything's spread out evenly, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh. Make sure that it's a synthetic bristled brush though if you're going to do that, because it just, I think, makes everything a lot easier, and you will not ruin your brush if you use a synthetic brush. So yeah, that's definitely my new favorite way to apply foundation. Oh my god. I bought some lashes. I did an order. I don't even remember what the website was called, but it was Miss or Madam or something like that, and I got a bunch of red cherry lashes. I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, with the red cherry lashes. I think what I ordered was too dramatic for what I wanted. What is this, the number 12, which this is really light and wispy and pretty, but it's still too long and they're too uniform. This one is nice, the number 66, but it's just too dense, I think. And then I got some lower lash ones, but they're just a little bit too extreme for what I was looking for. I don't know, maybe it's my fault for shopping online, but like I was expecting these to be like a little bit dramatic, yeah, but these are so dramatic. Like, I was not expecting them to be, especially this pair, the 202s. Oh my god, these are drag lashes. I mean, they're too much, and I don't even know if I'm going to get much use out of those at all, which is kind of irritating. I did like these, though, the Ardell individuals, the knot-free ones. You have to be careful because they're really kind of stuck in there, and if you get tweezers to try and pull them out, oftentimes they'll just split apart because they don't have a knot, because they're really, really glued in there, so you have to be really careful. But most natural looking things ever, if you want your lashes to look like they're full and flirty and you've got a lot more lash quantity than you actually do, individual lashes are the way to go. And if you get the knot-free kind, you're not going to be able to even tell that you have them there. Just drop them on your actual lashes at the root. Don't stick them to the skin, but stick them to the root of the lash. It looks like you just have 10 times more lashes than you were born with, which is awesome. Let us see. Okay. Let's talk about some stuff I got from my kit that I've been loving. e.l.f. Studio HD blushes. I have 3 shades. What's this? Headliner, Superstar, and Encore. My only problem is, and this is not a bad thing at all, the fact that the shade range runs, like, they have more dark shades than they do light shades. I think this is the lightest, and it's, I mean, it still has a little bit of a darkness to it, which is amazing for dark-skinned people. There's definitely not enough products and colors for people with dark skin. But then again, if people with fair skin can't get use out of some of these because they're just too dark and too bold, you kind of limit your clientele. So I just think if e.l.f. improves on the shade range and they add more, these are definitely amazing. They are super pigmented, they blend wonderfully, and they look super natural when you get them to a sheer layer. Oh, amazing. Also, this e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzing cream. So good. Oh my gosh, this bronzer, if you use this with a nice like fluffy brush and you really just kind of use it to bronze, it looks so much nicer than any powder I've tried next to NARS Laguna, because I don't think anything can look better than that, if you know what I mean. And then this cream blush is just gorgeous. Such this beautiful color, and there's no shimmer in either of these, and they're creams, so they're going to blend on your face really easily, and they're going to look naturally wonderful. So that's definitely awesome, and I'm happy with this. I probably need to get one for myself because it's turning out to be wonderful. Something I'm semi-disappointed with, Estee Lauder Invisible Fluid. It's not a bad foundation by any means, and I will continue to use it, but I just find that I like the Chanel one a little bit more. They're basically answers to each other. They're related. Same type of formulation, same, you know, liquidy consistency, except the Chanel one has SPF and a little bit of an alcohol content, and this doesn't have either of those. So this technically ingredient-wise is better for your skin, but I just find that this one looks a lot nicer. You get a little bit more coverage. It gives you a little bit more of a velvety finish, whereas this just, I kind of need to build it up a little bit too much for it to look like there's actually making a difference to my skin. It's like you wear foundation for two reasons, for coverage and for finish. This gives me both. This gives me like one or the other sometimes, but never really both. So don't know how I feel about that, other than I just like, I'll keep using it and keep trying to figure it out. But Maybelline Dream Lumi Concealer, I probably have not shut up about this ever, but it's what I'm wearing under my eyes right now. I have two shades here in my kit because they work wonderfully for other people too. This is a concealer, a highlighting concealer, not a highlighting pen. You're actually going to get coverage out of this, and it's actually going to change the darkness underneath your eyes by covering it up, not just brightening it and adding shimmer. So I really like this a lot, and I definitely think it's worth picking up. Absolutely 100%. Also, this Calvin Klein pressed powder, I think it's called the Airlight pressed powder. It's got titanium dioxide, 14.75%, and 1% zinc oxide. This kicks up so much powder. Let me show you right now. I'll just take a big fluffy brush. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of just went everywhere. But this sits really nicely on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It blends. Oh yeah, see? I got it all over my finger. You see that? That line on the back of my hand? That's powder that just kind of got kicked up everywhere. So that's irritating, but it does give you pretty good coverage considering it's only a pressed powder, and it has SPF, which is good, and the consistency on the face is nice. It's very like you can tell from it kicking up so much powder, it's very lightweight and very blendable. And it just looks really nice and natural in the skin. So that's good. That's a good thing. Oh, I have been enjoying this, the Flawless Concealer Brush from e.l.f. It's kind of gigantic, but it's great for blending underneath the eyes, or for blending some powder or bronzer or something on the lid. You can also use it to set powder underneath the eyes, and I'm sure you could use it for just spot concealing if you wanted to kind of buff it in. And then this e.l.f., what's this? The small stipple brush is even smaller than the Real Techniques one. So that's a good thing. This is great for highlighter. It's what I've been using it for with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. It's great because it's tiny and you get a lot of control, and it really blends things out for you. I think that's basically it. Probably forgetting something. I've refilmed this video literally 4 times. I'm not even kidding. So hopefully this one will be a good copy. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. My next video is going to be my collection and storage video, which I've filmed and ready to go. But until that video premieres, I will talk to everybody later. Bye, guys!